Hello, my sweet little goblins. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jay, and y'all, today is my October TBR. And y'all, October is such a very special month to me, and that's why I'm coming at you with a more neutral background. So I decided to skip out on the purple spooky lighting today, because while I am the presumptive spooky queen, I have very many different feelings about October. That was a very weird sentence, but truly I don't know how to explain October and the fall season without getting super gushy and emotionally confused, because it is so special to me. Not only does October specify the onset of Halloween, which is kind of unfair to say because I feel like the whole year is the onset of Halloween for me, but October means that it's creeping, it's in my peripheral, it is coming towards me head on. But October also means the beginning, the true beginning of fall to me. And fall means the beginning, or the end of the year. And this is a point in the year where I start to feel a little burnt out, a little tired of the grind, the hustle, the constant daily routine, and I start to forgive myself a little bit. I start to forgive the hectic routine. I start to forgive myself for not doing everything that is on my to-do list. I'm sure some of you know what I'm talking about. So by the time I get to October, not only am I a little tired, but I am also feeling energized in a very specific way. I'm feeling energized to really stop and smell the roses, so to speak. So my October TBR every year tends to be a little different from the rest of the year's TBR. Usually I will have quite a large lineup of horror novels throughout my normal TBRs on a month-to-month basis, but October is different. We are still leaning spooky, but we are also leaning immersive, fantastical, and this month a little dark academia, so I'm here for it. Also, I don't want to make this intro too terribly long before we jump into the books, but I'm sure that maybe, or maybe none of y'all have noticed, but I have not been posting supremely spooky content. I have not been posting a lot of Halloween centered content, and I have been very intentional for that reason, because I'm saving up. I am storing all of my Halloween energy, because I am going to Salem, Massachusetts this year, and I will be there in Halloween. Oh my God, y'all, this is a bucket list trip. I am going with one of my absolute best friends. She is the one that I turn to for horror movies and all things spooky and whimsical, and we have a chance to go together, and we are just grabbing it by the cojones and going. And so that's why I haven't really gotten into any Halloween content, because the ultimate Halloween content is coming up soon. I don't want to make any promises because I don't know what's going to be there for me at Salem. I can only imagine in my wildest dreams that it's going to basically be a Halloween wonderland, and I hope that's the truth. But in case it's not, I don't want to make any crazy promises. So right now I'm deciding whether I want to make one long extensive vlog or if I want to make mini daily vlogs. Let me know down in the comments below what you'd prefer to see. Do you want to see my entire trip all on one long big vlog that you can binge? Or do you want snippets, like daily, maybe 10 to 20 minute sort of vlogs, which I will need more memory cards for my camera. But yeah, let me know what your preference is. Anyway, other than that very exciting bit of news that I am going to the Halloween Emporium of a state, Massachusetts, Salem, Massachusetts, let's move on to my TBR for this October. All right, y'all. Like I mentioned, we are going spooky but immersive, and definitely dark academia. I have a whole stack of dark academia books that have just been waiting and waiting and waiting, like the patient sweet book babies that they are, for me to finally pick them up and show them some love. So of course, the first book on my October TBR is going to be Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. Y'all, I know, this has been out for way too long for me to be just picking this up now, but I swear I meant to read it and then I just... life. So if you don't know what Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo is, we follow the main character, Alex Stern, who has led a rather troubled life, and in her recent past she was part of a multiple homicide unsolved, and she was the lone survivor. She gets a mysterious contact one day and tells her that she is going to Yale, full ride, absolutely paid for, tuition done, and that just changes her life. And she just has so many questions. Why her? Who is this mysterious benefactor? So when she gets to Yale, she is tasked by this mysterious benefactor to look into the mysterious secret societies of Yale University, and what she finds is forbidden magic, necromancy, ghosts, and possibly murder. So I am very excited to read this. I have a feeling this is going to give me all of the fall and October vibes that I'm hoping for. Like I said, immersive, dark academia, and I have heard rave reviews about Ninth House, so I am ready for this book. The next book on my October TBR is going to be Shade by Chad Nicholas. Now this is an indie horror author, and he did send this to me, a free copy, in return for an honest review, and I am very interested in this book, and I did crack it open and read the first few pages, and the writing seems very good, so I'm very excited. But basically this is about a horrible serial killer, and he escapes the clutches and doesn't get found by the police, and so many months go by and his victims just get younger and younger, and he leaves gore and destruction in his wake. So we follow the two main characters, an ex-soldier who is losing his grip on reality, and he comes together with a suffering previous victim of said serial killer in hopes that they can solve this mystery. This is supposed to be a psychological thriller, and it's supposed to be very gripping and exciting, and honestly I would love this to be everything that it promises to be. I am ready for more thrillers, and I don't have a lot of books that in my just in my collection in general that describe themselves as psychological thrillers, so I'm very interested to dive into this one. All right, y'all, the next book is Wakenhurst by Michelle Paver. I am very excited for this book. I picked out this book because of the gothic vibes that it gives me. So this is set in Edwardian England, and it's supposed to span 5 centuries. This is a gothic thriller about a young lonely child named Maud who is living in an empty mansion on the edge of a wilderness, and she is ruled by her repressive father. Well, one day her father uncovers a painted devil statue in their garden, and dark forces are awakened. I am so ready for this. Edwardian England, a gothic, lonely, empty mansion, and a young child in the midst of dark, awakening forces. Yes! I am so excited for this book, and it has been sitting on my shelf for over a year now. Very disgruntled that I have not picked it up. The next book on my October TBR list is going to be Catherine House by Elizabeth Thomas. Y'all, this has been on probably every TBR list that I've made for myself since I bought the book like 3 or 4 months ago. I am desperately trying to get to this book. Everyone that I've talked to said that this book is excellent. It gives more of those dark academia vibes that I've been really looking for, and I really just want to dive in. So we follow the main character, Inez, and she has just been accepted to this very prestigious liberal arts school. It is set back in the rural parts of Pennsylvania, and rumor is whoever graduates from this prestigious school will experience all the success and power and glory that they can hope for. So all they have to do is make it through the program. But in order to make it through the program, they must cut all ties from their previous world and give themselves up completely over to Catherine House. And so as Inez goes through the program, she notices that things are not exactly what they seem. There are dark secrets abound, and there are toxic people and all sorts of dark academia tropes, I guess. I don't know. I'm excited. This sounds like a lot of drama, sounds like a lot of intrigue and mystery, and we're here for that this month. Now, I have a book here on my October TBR that is high on the list, if not the next book I read after I finish my current read. And it is going to be Under the Whispering Door by TJ Klune. Y'all, ever since I read The House on the Cerulean Sea and have reread it since I first read it, I have been awaiting his next book very anxiously. And I am very excited to dive into this. So we follow the main character. His name is Wallace, and it is, I think, pretty obvious that he's dead, but he is not quite ready to leave his life. He doesn't feel that he's lived it to its fullest, and so he is given a week to cross over, and he sets about trying to live a lifetime in 7 days. There are Grim Reapers involved, and then peculiar tea shops involved, and I just think it sounds so cozy, and also might have me shed some tears, and I'm really worried about that because I have been in a crying mood recently. Every book that I've read lately, I've just like felt emotion welling up inside of me and then being produced out in the world via tears. Like, that's just what's happening right now with me. So I know if I read this, I will have to keep tissues handy and maybe ice cream, because this just sounds like one of those books that will hug you and then rip your heart out, but then hug you again. I don't know. I could be wrong about that. That's how I felt about The House on the Cerulean Sea, so I am very excited to read this. The next book on my October TBR is going to be Things Have Gotten Worse Since We Last Spoke by Eric LaRocca. Now, if you have been with me for a little bit and have watched some of my recent vlogs, you'll know that I read his first book, I think it was his first book, Starving Ghosts in Every Thread, and I really enjoyed that. And so I finally got a chance to grab a copy of his newest book, and this surrounds two young women that meet in a internet chat room in the early 2000s, and something happens. It doesn't give us a lot of description in the synopsis, but it does say sadomasochism, obsession, and death. I don't know what that means, but everyone that I've talked to has said it's bonkers or it's really intense, and they can't wait to hear my thoughts about it, and it's not very long. So I'm hoping that this horror novel is really just gonna tie in the vibes that I'm trying to bring for October. I want something immersive, I want something confusing, I guess, at times, and I want something to really make me feel something. So I think this is going to be one of those books. The next book on my October TBR list is going to be The 10,000 Doors of January by Alex E. Harrow. Now, I am very excited to read this book because I read her other novel, The Once and Future Witches, last year around this time, and that novel just made me feel so many things. Definitely cried at the end, have definitely thought about it many a time since I read it, and I have been trying to get my hands on this copy, but I sometimes just forget when I walk into a bookstore. But this is about young January Scholar who lives in a sprawling, lonely mansion with her ward, or rather she's the ward, and so she one day finds a strange book that promises love and magic and mystery and intrigue, and she realizes that she can escape her own story and sneak into someone else's. So I have a feeling this is going to be sort of a love story to books, and I'm very intrigued because Alex E. Harrow's writing is very lyrical, very beautiful and evocative, and I am so excited to read this. I really feel like this is going to sweep me away into another world, and that's what I want this October. The next book. Now, y'all know you can't have an October without Stephen King. So I have on here Cycle of the Werewolf by Stephen King. And of course you can have an October without Stephen King, but why would you want to? I love Stephen King. Not all of his books are hits, but not a lot of them are misses. Well, that's not true. I feel like a lot of people could disagree, but the ones I've read so far, I've really enjoyed. And my friend on Bookstagram, her name is Robin. I will include her information down below if you want to follow her, because she also has a Bookstagram. She sent me this as a gift, and I am very excited to read it, not only because it is short, but I have heard very good things about this. And I also love werewolves. I love vampires, but I feel like werewolves just deserve more attention in the wider media, and they just don't get it. They don't get the attention. And so this is very typical Stephen King. It's set in an isolated Maine town, and it's about werewolves. Also, there happens to be cool illustrations, so that's kind of cool. I'm here for that. I'm very excited to read this. Again, it's short and it should pack quite a punch according to all of the rave reviews that I have been hearing. All right, friends. So my second to last book on my TBR, this ambitious TBR, this penultimate book is called The X Hex by Erin Sterling. And this, I don't have the physical copy with me because it's coming in the mail very soon, but I am gonna try and read it this October because it gives me, from what I think I'm gleaning from the synopsis, it gives me all of those gratuitous Halloween fall feels, and I am ready for that. So we follow the main character, Vivian. As a young witch, she put a curse on her ex, and what she thought was a very harmless little curse turns out to snowball into something so much larger. So we've got pissed off ghost, candy obsessed talking cats, almost sex in the library, almost, spicy tension, and all of those fall vibes that I'm hoping to find. So I'm very excited. I'm not a very big romance reader. In fact, you will probably find all of like 5 romance books in my collections, but in the event that there are cozy enough feelings and atmospheres involved, I'm here for it. So the very last but not least book is going to be The Book of Magic by Alice Hoffman. Now, I don't have a physical copy because it's not out yet, but it will be, and then it'll be mine because I am so excited. I only found out recently that she was coming out with a new book, and it was going to be the conclusion in the Practical Magic series of novels that she has, and I was so excited to hear about this. And I was also bummed that I hadn't been tracking it earlier. But yeah, I am definitely grabbing that the moment it comes out in stores because that book is meant to be in my hands. Anyway, the novel starts out in a library where Aunt Jet Owens hears the untimely ticking of the Death Watch beetle, which, if you've read the other books or even seen the movies, you will know that this signifies that someone is going to die. And this time it's specifically Aunt Jet. And so the 3 generations of Owens women, they go on a grand adventure to find a way to break the curse. And this adventure takes them from Paris to London to the English countryside where their ancestor Maria Owens first learned about magic. This is bittersweet. I don't want this series to end, and everything Alice Hoffman, at least that I've read, is just masterful in the writing. I just don't know how to explain to you how many emotions come up every time I read her writing. And a lot of her writing is sort of romance and love leaning, but it is not sort of knock you over the head and obnoxious type of romance. It is gentle and character driven and more about the adventures surrounding love as opposed to like in your face, like making out or spicy smut time kind of love. And I just love Alice Hoffman so much for that. And disclaimer, I don't have any problem with that. It's just not something that I tend to read or gravitate towards very often. I mean, let's be real, we all enjoy smut every now and then, but Alice Hoffman is more my style when it comes to anything that is sort of involving romance. And they're witches, and what better month to be reading about witches than October. All right, y'all, that is 10 books on my October TBR. I don't remember the last time I read 10 books in 1 month, probably because it's undoable, at least by me, with the way my schedule works out, but I'm really gonna try. October, of course, is also going to be a very busy month, not only with like my personal life, just work and stuff wrapping up for the year, but also Salem. So let me know down below if you want smaller, like multiple vlogs, or you want one big vlog. Either way, I am filming my trip, or at least parts of it, and I'm excited to share it with you. Guys, thank you for spending some time with me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hit the like button, it really helps my channel. Hit that notification bell and hit that subscription button so you always know when I've got spooky things coming to you. Bye, y'all.